Hey YouTube, that's so Slim Jim. This is my 2010 BMW X5 35D. Today I'm doing something pretty basic that a lot of people do. I'm deleting the muffler because, well, I want it to sound a little bit cooler. So I decided not to spend $400 on a pretty basic pipe and to do it myself because I know how to weld. So I'm going to take you by the step-by-steps on how to do this if you want to try it yourself. Now, to limit time, I'm going to narrow it down to just the basic, here's what to do and here's what to need, without going through every little step, which I'm sure you can find the most how to do these little stuff on YouTube. But for sake of time, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. So let's go ahead and get started by seeing what we're working with. This is the muffler on your E70 X5s. Pretty basic. You have a 3-inch pipe coming in. Now from the factory, these have stainless steel pipe, goes into the muffler, then comes out in 2 points, one on either side. It goes from 3.5 inch to 2.5 inch out. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be cutting both sides off here and here, and then the inlet, and then from that point we are going to be fabricating up a 3-inch that splits off and goes to 2.5 inch out. Now obviously the hangers go on to the muffler, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change the hangers. Instead of hanging on to the muffler, are going to hang on to the pipe here, because, well, the muffler's not going to be here anymore, so we're going to have something to hang it up. So let's go ahead and get started by cutting this off first so we can get started on hanging everything up. All right, now that we have the muffler off, which all I did is I used a saw with a blade that's designed to cut obviously through metal, and one that is rated for stainless steel. And even when it's rated for stainless steel, honestly, I had to use 2 blades. One I cut up a bunch of scrap stainless steel I got off a couple exhausts that I'd worked on, and I chopped it off, put in my little spare exhaust box down here. But stainless steel is a little hard on exhaust socket, so I got it cut up. So now we can start going for dimensions. Now before we get into that, I want to go over what's going to be the hardest part about this, and that's creating the T. I already did mine. What you're going to do is basically you get 2 3-inch 90-degree angles, and then you're going to figure out the halfway point when they're sitting flush, and mark halfway up, which I'll go into how to do this in a little bit. But warning you, if you don't feel comfortable building this guy, I know there are some companies that make these, you know, or pre-make these where you can just buy them as is. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than just buying. I mean, I paid $22 for the 2, so they're like $11 each for 304 stainless steel, and I just cut off half and put them together. But if you're not comfortable doing this, like I said, you can buy pre-made ones that are already 3-inch, the 3-inch with 90-degree split outlets. But this is what I'm doing. But let's get to this. This is actually pretty simple. All you're going to do is use a measuring tape, and you're going to figure out, once it's sitting upright, basically from the middle of the outlet, which is about 8 3/4 inches, is going to be where the middle of this outlet is. So you figure out how far this from the middle of this outlet is, which is 3.5 inches. So all I got to do is take 8 3/4 minus 3.5, and that gives you the length of 3-inch pipe you need to weld onto this to go to your factory exhaust. Now obviously you're going to have to do a little fitting, you know, because there is a slight bend to it. So when you put it into place, you might have to go and grind it to put a little bit of a hair bend to it. So it's always good to cut it about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch long, so that way when you put it up, so if it's trying to go directly into the back of the vehicle, you can take your angle grinder, shave a few degrees off, put it down, and if you need to, you can take a little off. It's always a lot easier to have a little bit extra than too little, because then you got to chop a piece off, weld that on, put it onto it. And even then, 1/2 inch to 3/4, maybe a bit long. That's if, you know, you're kind of new and you want to have a lot of wiggle room to play with. but you know, for me, I'm probably going to go with maybe a 1/4 inch over, just so I got angle to grind down into in case I mess up or I have to straighten up the back of the pipe, because let's face it, saw saws are not the most accurate ones in the world. Then from that point, we have our center line. Now my saw on this side got a little bit of angle. This one I got really straight. So what I'm gonna have to do is, on the pipe that's on the car, I'm gonna have to straighten that up for a good weld, so I'm not trying to weld a 1/2 inch gap. So I'm gonna measure from basically the end point here, because on the piece I'm gonna reuse, that part I'm gonna have to grind flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from here to basically the center point, which is about 17 inches. Now I'm going to add, once again, about a 1/4 inch of room to kind of play around with, just to make sure. Then I measure from here to the center gap, which is about just over the 3 1/8 inches. Airplane. Gotta live living by a little airport. So I'm going to take 3 1/8 inches, obviously subtract that from the, I believe I just said 17. Yeah, 17 inches, then add a 1/4 inch for play room for grinding error. Then I'll know how long it's going to be. Now, obviously going from 2 1/2 inch to 3 inch, well, I'll show you right here, that doesn't exactly work. It's not exactly going to be a slip fit. Two ways of going around that. One, you can grab yourself a piece of 2 1/2 to 3 inch. Now when you buy this, if you want to, when you buy the 2 1/2 inch pipe, because you know it's going to be roughly so long, obviously they come in usually quantities of 24 inches, you can grab yourself 2 24 inch pieces that have a 2 1/2 to 3 inch slip fit on it, which in that case will be perfect because it'll butt right up to the 3 inch. You don't have to worry about playing with it. And then the other side would go directly to your 3 inch pipe. If you can find a piece of 304 stainless that has it on both sides, it's even better. That way it'll slip fit on both sides, real easy to fit up. You can adjust it wherever you want it. And if you have a little bit of a cut or an angle cut on it, you can just cut to the length you need, weld it back together, slip it on there. Don't have to worry about grinding and perfecting all that stuff. Now, what I'm doing is I actually just heat the end of the pipe with, I'm just using MAP right now because I haven't refilled my acetylene because I'm lazy. And I put it on a mandrel and I just bend it around. And when you bend it around, you get right up to, actually I got to bend this one just a hair more, but just up to the 3 inch mark. So instead I have to spend extra money for something to pre-bend because I don't have a pipe expansion tool that is strong enough to work with stainless, you can just bend it around. Like I said, you can use the back of a real sturdy vise that has a thick mandrel on the back of it or something, heat it up and just bend a little bit, work your way around a little bit, and it'll expand it out that 1/4 inch in each direction you need till you get it to 3 inches. And then, like I said, I just plated this one a little bit to see how well this metal will expand, and it'll butt up to your 3. All right, now that we measured out the 3 inch section and the 2 1/2 inch sections, and welding it all up. Now, as you guys are going to see, I am not the greatest TIG welder. I have nerve damage, so I don't have the greatest control with my hands. A couple of good injuries in the Army and a busted shoulder with some damaged ligaments on the left hand, so they're not pretty, but the big thing is to make sure you got good penetration and full coverage. You don't want any porosity or anything. You guys aren't seeing a argon backflow in here. What I'm using is actually, it's called solar flux. I use this stuff quite a bit because a lot of times I do welding on the car, and it's hard to backflow a whole system. I mean, you can do it, but you just take this, mix it with some alcohol. Heat works great. Mix it into a nice little paste, and then you put it on the inside of the joint, so that way you don't have to worry about messing up the stainless steel when you're welding it, and it saves me a bunch of money on argon. So got it welded up. I measured the distance. Now the factory pipe is slightly smaller than 2 1/2, so it gives you a nice slip fit. So at this point it slides in there like so, and what I did is I put a small cut on either side. So for test fitting, yeah, excuse me, I've been welding and sucking in some stuff. I can take some clamps, just regular, you know, heavy duty hose clamps. You can use lighter duty ones, but I like using heavier duty, just that way you know they're not going to strip out on you. Slide it over where the two little cuts are, which make sure they're long, or they're bigger than the actual hose clamps are. You can put your pipe in, and then what you can do is get it exactly where you want it, tighten it up, and then when you have the exact positioning of where you like it, you can come in, and if you have this just a hair back, put a small couple tack welds, undo this, do your welding around, and then you can come back, you know, and then get everything set up. And if you want to, you can kind of do the same thing on the front. You got to play around with angles on that. That's going to be a little more difficult. We'll get to that part though. But for now, we're going to work on the exhaust section where the tailpipe comes out. And then once we kind of get those where we want, I'm going to be using like a jack stand or something to kind of get the exhaust where I want it to sit and make sure everything's 100% equal. You know, make sure the tips are coming out where I want them, kind of move them back and forth. That's where you want to have that little bit of extra play so you can get just that, you know, that 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch inlet into there, so you know you got good spacing. Like I said, it's always good to have more than less so you can play around with stuff. Then you can always grind it back later, cut a little off if you need to. And then once you get that good, take it off, weld it up. Then we'll work, you know, you can go ahead and cut off the spare hangers, you know, bend them where you need to, use a little heat, weld them on so they hang back properly. And then get to figuring out where we need to do any angles or anything for the front pipe. All right, so I went ahead and took the finished pipe, made a couple slots in it, put a couple clamps, just get enough where it holds the exhaust tips in place. Doesn't put a lot of pressure on it, but just enough where I can kind of put them where I want them. Now, having that little bit of room for them to play in allowed me to position them kind of where I wanted them. So I used 3 jack stands, one on either end, and then one in the middle to kind of put it in place. And I had to play around for a little bit, and it was a lot of trial and error to get where I wanted it, and I didn't want this to be an hour-long video. So I put it up there, and after I got the center where I wanted, everything really equal, I put a couple good tacks on the 3 inch. Now the 3 to 3 fit perfect. That was a direct 3 to 3. The 2.5 to this was it's still hot. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. You can laugh at me. It was a little bit different. I think this is probably closer to 2 1/4. I looked the sizes up online, so obviously I guess you can't trust everything you find on the internet. I should have checked it first. That's my mistake, but luckily you watching this video won't make that same mistake if you look at the same places I found it. I will put the exact sizes of the pipes in the description of the video, so that way you guys can figure out exactly what you need if you want to do a direct butt joint. But it did give me some play. That was really nice because, you know, sometimes when you weld, things kind of go a little bit out of play, and, you know, whatever, gave me some room to wiggle with. So I got it into place. I had a little extra length on the pipe, so I figured out exactly where I wanted them, and I left about a 1/4 inch gap, marked them, pulled them out, cut them off in the chop saw, put them back in, got them where they looked square in the back end after I had this good and tacked up, and I figured where the hangers were going to be. So got them where I wanted, put the hangers I chopped off. I just used one post from the old one, put them up, got a couple tacks on those, so that way it's going to be hanging where, you know, it's going to be when it's done, so I'm going to worry about things shifting. And then put a couple tacks when I had the tailpipe sitting nice and equal. I mean, they may be off by a millimeter or two, but it's not going to be looking like some Chinese exhaust where, you know, they're doing that kind of deal. And after I got a good tack and nothing's going to move, I undid the 2 17mm clamps, or the bolts on the one clamp, slid the whole thing down, came back, welded everything in place. Now, they're not the prettiest welds. Like I said, I am not the greatest TIG welder in the world, and my hands shake like a palsy victim when I'm trying to weld because I have nerve damage. Like I said, we went over that, but it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up these tips because I hate chrome. I'm going to put black on them. I'm going to put this guy back on, and we're going to see how it looks when it's on the car. Right. As you can see, I have the clamp back on, the new pipe on. I had to bend the hangers just a little bit to make sure everything was sitting right. Got her all in there, got plenty of clearance, everything's fitting up fine, not bouncing around, not making any noise. So yeah, let me get her off the ramps real quick, and let's see how she sounds.